It's draft day. It's also graduation day at BYU. Lots happening on BYU Sports Nation. Great to have you with us. It's golf day, apparently.
Every day is golf day.
All right.
No, it's warm.
This is your day-to-day BYU Sports play-by-play. We call it BYUSN. Alongside Jaren Jordan, I'm Spencer Linton. And to fully encapsulate, celebrate what's happening today and through the weekend, we can't think of a better person to join us than BYU quarterback Jaren Hall, who is awaiting his name to be called in the NFL draft. So, Jaren, simply, one, welcome to the show. Great to talk with you, and we appreciate you making time for us in your schedule. How are your emotions right now? You're a very even-keeled dude. How are you feeling right now?
A little excited, a little nervous, a little stressed. Kind of everything comes, ebbs and flows, you know. So just trying to keep it together, just enjoy the weekend and enjoy time with family.
What will be the most enjoyable experience out of this whole thing this weekend? And then what will provide perhaps the most stress?
Most enjoyable will just be, be in the living room, my parents' place with our family. And whenever that call comes, when it is, just celebrating and seeing everybody's smiling faces. That's something I've always looked forward to. And then just nervous about, moving on to a new place. I got a wife and a daughter, and, they're going to have to adapt to that and start looking at homes and whatnot. So it's a little stress there, but part of life. Got to grow up sometime.
Who is the most likely person in your life that's going to call you when a GM might, where you're like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, I've been running that through my mind all week. Who calls me all the time? Probably one of my stupid friends. I don't think any family would dare do that, but I got some knucklehead friends for sure.
Like when the draft is on, even tonight, right? It's like, do not call me. I'm going to answer every call from numbers I don't know. Do you think there'll be a telemarketer that you accidentally talk to tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah, I think a telemarketer call like every day. I know the area code though, so we'll be okay. I won't answer that. Feel the vibration in the pocket, get your heart going, and you look down and okay, really?
Yeah, iPhone helps you out there, right? Telemarketer, yeah.
Jaren Hall is with us on BYU Sports Nation. Let's rewind a little bit to essentially the end of the Stanford game, your last regular season game. You didn't play in the bowl game. So from the Stanford game on to where we are now today, what have those last 4 months been like for you overall?
Yeah, it's just been really busy. I moved out to California right after Christmas, started training with my agency, training with John and 3D QB out there in Huntington Beach. And so I was really out there until pro day. Lived there, brought my wife and my daughter with me, and I trained all day, every day. And it was busy, Senior Bowl, Combine, Pro Day, just a lot of football. Your mind's just focused on that and that alone, and it's a good change up, good change of pace. No more school. As fun as that was, you're just going to play football now and focus on your career, and it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. It's been tough. It's been a long couple of months, but I'm excited for what's to come here in the next few weeks. Did
you end up graduating, or do you have a little bit left?
You had to ask me that question. Yeah, you think 5 years at a school you graduate, but now I'm one class short. Got a nice little American Heritage class I got to take, and then I'm through.
Did you say American Heritage?
Oh,
you left like that till the end. Nice.
Oh, I'm a procrastinator.
I don't believe you whatsoever when you say that. You seem like the most prepared dude like ever. That's okay, man. There have been plenty of dudes who have gone on and played, and they take the class later. Steve Young came back and got a law degree in the offseason when he was starting for the Knights. It's like, you know what I mean? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. All right. Where do you feel like you kind of nailed this pre-draft process? And what are some of the attributes that you feel like you give right away to a team that helps them?
Just from some feedback, I think, interviews, did a great job. I think I left a great impression on a lot of organizations, a lot of management. And then, I think Pro Day helped out a lot, being healthy finally and being able to throw at full capacity, I think cleared up a lot of doubts that, some people had in my physical abilities and my ability to throw the ball. I just think attributes, just maturity, my age is, a lot of people talk about it being a downer, but really through this process, I haven't heard much about it from teams. And on the flip side, I think the maturity helps me a lot. And so I think that, along with developing physically and continuing to do so will really help me, as I've shown I can continue to get healthier. And, I think those are two things that I think of right away.
So there's so much mystery around as you prepare for the draft, what happens with your agent and those circles. And Ryan Tollner is a guy that has dealt with some big-time quarterbacks, most notably Ben Roethlisberger, Jared Goff, and he's worked with Carson Wentz. So being a part of that agency and his team and having the pro day you did, Jaren, what has that done for you to help you prepare for the NFL draft?
Yeah, having a guy like Ryan in your corner to talk to whenever, throughout the week, it's been super helpful. Ben, I think, was his first client. And you look where we're at there right now. He'll be a Hall of Fame quarterback and had a phenomenal career, and he's got a lot of guys, that will follow suit. But having a guy like that, just the experience, the presence that he brings of confidence, no matter what happens. That's the biggest thing is you never know how this draft will shake up. I've heard so many different things from so many organizations and different people, but he's always there just to help keep me kind of focused on, focusing on me, continuing to get better and just taking advantage of whatever situation I get. And that's the best approach for me to take because there's so many questions about it. So just focus on what you can. That's what him and the rest of Rep 1 Sports, that's kind of the attitude they bring. And I love working with everybody there. It's really fun. Along
those lines, do you have a good sense of who might take you?
You hear things. I won't share anybody in particular today, but, I've had, especially the last couple of weeks, a lot of visits, a lot of workouts and whatnot. So I think, there's a handful of teams I know really like me, but it's just a matter of, where they see me falling in their draft picks, and that's something I can't control.
Jaren, you've obviously touched on some of the things and many of the things that you do well, and there are many. But in terms of feedback and what you hear back from teams after Pro Day and after the Combine and people that have looked at your film, where do you feel like they have been, let's say, critical and have challenged you to get better?
Yeah, I think one, just availability. I think that's something that got better throughout my career. I missed fewer games this last season than the year before. And I think there's certain throws around the field they want to see, improve. And I think that just comes with the reps. There's a lot of concepts we run at BYU, and there's a lot of concepts that we don't. But that's every quarterback going in the NFL is going to have to do something that he hasn't done before. And so that's no different than a lot of other guys in the draft class. There's certain things you got to work on. So for me, it's new concepts and new throws and continuing to prove that I can be available. That's the biggest thing in the quarterback position. Your best asset is being available. So I got to prove that I can do that.
Yep, best ability, availability, as they say. Yeah. Okay, so obviously we've looked at the Zach Wilson situation with the Jets, being thrown in and being the guy, and it was cool that he got an opportunity to play right away, but also can be a challenge. What's your thought process on sort of like wanting to play right away versus what you did at BYU, which was you were the backup for a couple years, and then when it was your time, perhaps you're more ready, or maybe you're like, no, I want to play right away.
Yeah, I think both come with unique challenges and circumstances. Being a backup, you got to make sure you stay locked in always. It's easy to kind of fall off and be forgotten by yourself and others. So you got to make sure you're present and you're competing and always preparing like you're the guy. And then as a starter, obviously going into a new league, it's tough. Zach did a great job with it his rookie season, and you can see that there's a lot of potential for all rookie quarterbacks to ball out and play well. But it's just about attacking those moments and really looking forward to that competition. But there's a lot of growing curves that come with that. And so for me, it's wherever I'm placed, wherever I'm asked to do, I'm attack that and do the best I can.
BYU quarterback Jaren Hall is now in NFL draft weekend. He is with us on BYU Sports Nation. I know you don't want to talk specific teams, and I certainly understand
I do.
That.
Seahawks, let's go, baby.
Okay, we have that on the table from Jaren for sure.
I've talked to Jaren about this already.
That would be awesome. Okay, I'm not going to make you talk about specific teams, but in your opinion, what type of situation and scheme best fits your skill set right now?
Yeah, I think, scheme-wise, the beautiful thing about playing for A-Rod and Grimes before is we've had a lot of versatility in our offense. We've changed throughout the years, and we've done a lot of different stuff that I think translates really perfectly into the NFL and the type of game you see today. So scheme-wise, I think there's a lot of things that I can fit just due to my athleticism and my ability to grow as a pocket passer every year the more time I spend with John and his group there. And then, situationally, I think I just got to be prepared for whatever. I think a lot of feedback I'm getting right now is it's not going to be a place necessarily where you go start. So being a backup and a guy who's building up for that moment is something that I'm kind of planning for. But obviously, if I'm thrown into a situation I got to play, I'll make sure I'm ready for that too.
You're one snap away, as all backups are, as you mentioned. Okay, when you were younger, and obviously you played a bunch of sports, you're a great athlete. At what point did you think, I want to be an NFL player?
think just when I first started watching NFL on TV, hearing about my dad's college career and playing the CFL for a few years. Being in a community that loves sports. All my friends were kids on my baseball, basketball, football team. So I don't think it was just football. I think, it was the MLB, it was the NBA, whatever it was, whatever sport I was playing at the time. I always envisioned playing professionally. And as I got older and things started to kind of happen and be laid out in front of me, it just turned into the NFL. And that's something that I really started loving, in junior high and high school, being recruited to college. And it just kind of built every single year as I got a little older and a little closer to this.
Because you played baseball in college, as you mentioned. So the NFL, was that sometime in like junior high, high school, or was it still at BYU where you were thinking MLB might be a possibility?
MLB was a little bit. I wasn't great. Checking my stats, I didn't have a great first year in baseball. Off an injury, I had a good series against New Mexico, and then COVID cut that off short. But I think the NFL was always what I wanted more. I think it's a lifestyle that I'd rather have. Baseball is all year round. It never stops. It's tough on a family, and the NFL is still tough on a family, but you have a lot more time off, and it's just more family friendly. And frankly, I just fell in love with football, as I started playing the last few years, and it's really continues to develop.
BYU's in a unique situation because we've talked about Zach Wilson, who is already in the NFL. You're about to be drafted. And then there are hopes that Keaton SLOVITS has a great season and becomes the third consecutive BYU quarterback to get to the league. So let's talk the advice game a little bit, starting with what advice has Zach Wilson given to you at a time like this? And in turn, after you answer that, what advice have you given to Keaton SLOVITS as he takes over at BYU?
Yeah, I think, when I first got a job at BYU, me and Zach talked a little bit. I don't think it was as much of what he said as what I took from him in his preparation, watching him very closely. And you hear it all around the league now in the NFL. The dude loves football. He's the most prepared guy. It's what he spends his time doing. And I hear that from other guys that work with him like John and anybody else. So seeing the preparation he puts into it, that's the one thing I've always taken away from Zach. And I know that's something he prides himself on, and he's always the most prepared guy. So that's something that I've always taken from Zach and appreciated, watching him so closely for so many years. And Keaton, when he was coming to BYU, I'm not a guy that loves to give a ton of advice. They're grown and like to do their own thing. And I just told him that he's going to love BYU. It's the greatest fan base to play for. But, expectations can never be something that gets in the way of you having confidence in playing. I don't know if I said that to him or not, but, if he listens to this, that's one thing. BYU, it's a special place. He's got a lot of great teammates and the best coaching staff in the country around him.
He saw you catch a pass against him in 2019. That happened against USC. I remember that, right? Or did you throw to Zach in that play? I'm trying to remember.
I think I threw that one. I think Zach
threw that one to Zach. That's right. You're like, hey, we both completed passes in that game. Well, yeah, that's what's up. Let's finish with this. You certainly have added your name into the pantheon of BYU great quarterbacks. Do you feel like you're in that club, and if so, where?
I don't know if I'm going to put myself anywhere. I mean, I'm sure you know how I'd answer this question already. That's for the fans to decide. They love doing that stuff. But I just wanted to be a guy who could come in and leave an impact on the program, on the fans. And I think after a few years, I did a decent job at doing that. I had a lot of great teammates around me. So it wasn't all me by any means. A lot of great players I was able to distribute to, but I think the teams that we had the last few years have really put a mark in BYU history football and some of the great things we accomplished. And, maybe when my time is done in the NFL, then we could talk about where I'm at in that line of quarterbacks.
I love it. What a journey we've had with you. You signed February 3rd, 2016, and here we are 7 years and 2 months later with the NFL draft, man.
Listen, it's great and all. You're going to be an NFL quarterback. Awesome. Fantastic. The greatest thing you've accomplished is handling an almost 2-year-old, Jaren. Let's face it. That is the greatest accomplishment day in and day out.
Gray hairs.
Good luck. Refuting and pushing away those gray hairs as your children grow older. Congratulations, as Jaren said it. We wish you the best, man. Can't wait to watch how things unfold this weekend.
Seahawks third round. Let's go.
We will be talking to you soon, wherever you go. Can't wait to watch it, man.
Thanks, Jaren.
It was a pleasure.